All right, let's dive into one of the most twisted psychological thrillers out there, Freida McFadden's The Housemaid. This is a wild story about deception, revenge, and the absolutely terrifying secrets that can hide behind the doors of a perfect-looking home. So let me just ask you this. Imagine you've finally gotten a second chance, a fresh start. But what if that fresh start was actually leading you straight into a nightmare that someone else was trying to escape? That's the chilling idea we're going to explore today. So our story kicks off with what really seems like a golden opportunity. But as you're about to see, the gorgeous Winchester house is built on a foundation of some seriously dark secrets. Okay, let's meet our main character, Millie. Her situation is, well, it's pretty dire. She's living out of her car, she's completely broke, and she's hiding the fact that she served a 10-year prison sentence. So when the super wealthy Winchester family offers her a job as a live-in housekeeper, it feels like a total lifesaver, a real chance to finally put her past in the rearview mirror. So Millie walks into this house and things are weird. On one hand, you've got Nina Winchester. She's all over the place, makes huge messes, and just seems, a little unhinged. But then there's her husband, Andrew. He's handsome, he's kind, he's totally understanding, basically the perfect guy. From where Millie's standing, it seems pretty clear who the problem is. And Nina's behavior just keeps getting more and more bizarre. I mean, she'll trash a room right after Millie cleans it. She gives these confusing, conflicting orders and then gets mad at Millie for not following them. And if that's not enough, there's a medicine cabinet just overflowing with pills. And this horrifying rumor going around that she once tried to drown her own daughter, Cecilia. So yeah, Nina is looking like the villain, for sure. So while Nina is just spiraling out of control, who's there to pick up the pieces? Andrew, of course. He's always apologizing to Millie for his wife's behavior, he listens to her, and he's everything Nina isn't. So you can see how for Millie he starts to feel less like her boss and a lot more like her hero. And then it happens, the point of no return. There's this huge fight after they find out Nina can't have any more kids, and that same night, Andrew and Millie end up sleeping together. Well, that's the last straw for Andrew. He kicks Nina out of the house, and just like that, it looks like Millie has won. She got the guy, she's in the gorgeous house, she has it all. But just as Millie starts to relax into this new life, this little red flag pops up. The landscaper, Enzo, a guy Nina always insisted on keeping around, gets fired by Andrew. And as Enzo's leaving, he gives Millie this really chilling warning. He tells her she's in danger and she has to get out of that house. That very night, the floor just completely drops out. Millie goes to sleep in her little attic bedroom, and when she wakes up and tries to leave, the door won't open. She discovers the horrifying truth. Her door is locked, and the lock is on the outside. She's not the new lady of the house. She's a prisoner. Okay, get ready, because this is the moment where everything you thought you knew gets thrown right out the window. We're about to find out what's really been going on, from Nina's point of view. It turns out that whole crazy wife thing, none of it was real. It was all an act, a brilliant, desperate performance designed for one single purpose, to escape. She had to make everyone believe she was insane to have any chance of getting away. You see, her marriage to Andrew has been a 7-year-long horror show. It started just 3 months after they were married, when he locked her in that same attic room for days, just because he thought she looked sloppy. It got worse. He drugged her, framed her for trying to drown their own baby, and got her locked up in a psych ward for 8 months. He controlled every aspect of her life with abuse and threats against their little girl. So Nina realized she couldn't just run away. Andrew would never let her go. She had to be replaced. That's when she came up with this terrifyingly smart plan. She intentionally found Millie, someone she knew Andrew would go for. Then she played the part of the unhinged wife perfectly, literally pushing Millie and Andrew together, also that he would latch onto his new toy and finally let Nina go. Which brings us back to right now. Nina's out, but Millie is in. She is trapped in that exact same attic room, facing that exact same monster. Except this time, the monster might have just trapped the wrong person. So the trap is officially sprung. Andrew explains to Millie that she's now going to be punished for her misbehavior, just like Nina was. He's the captor, she's his new plaything. But here's what Andrew completely overlooked. He underestimated Millie, big time. Because while she's locked up, Millie finds something hidden in the room, a can of pepper spray. So the next time Andrew opens that door, she attacks. She completely incapacitates him and shoves him into the room he just locked her in. And boom, just like that, the tables have turned. And this is where we finally learn Millie's big secret. That 10-year prison sentence she was hiding? Well, here's why. She killed someone. Now, it was an accident. She was defending her friend from a horrible assault at boarding school, but it proves one very important thing. When Millie is pushed to the edge, she is absolutely capable of violence. And that brings us to the final, jaw-dropping layer of Nina's master plan. This was never random. She didn't just hire any housekeeper. She specifically looked for Millie. She knew about her prison record. And guess who hid that pepper spray in the room? Nina did. She wasn't just hoping Millie would replace her. She was hoping Millie would do the one thing she couldn't: get rid of Andrew permanently. And Millie does exactly what Nina had hoped. When Nina returns to the house, she finds Andrew dead. She immediately confesses, ready to take the fall for Millie. But then you are not going to believe this twist. The detective working the case, his own daughter, used to be engaged to Andrew, and she was another one of his victims. He knows exactly what kind of monster Andrew was, so he rules the death an accident. Case closed. So with Andrew out of the picture, both women are finally free. But an experience like this, it changes you. And for Millie, this isn't just the end of a nightmare, it's the beginning of something totally new. The book closes a few months later. We see Millie interviewing for another housekeeping job. It looks like she's just trying to get her life back to normal, right? But as she's talking to this new woman, she notices a bruise on her arm, and then the woman says something interesting. She says Nina Winchester recommended Millie, that Nina said Millie could help with her husband problem. And in that moment, Millie gets it. She's not here to clean the house. She's here to take out the trash, and she takes the job. Which leaves us with one hell of a question, doesn't it? After everything she's been through, who is Millie now? Is she still a victim? Or has she become a vigilante, dishing out her own kind of justice? Or maybe that line has just been erased completely.